Soul King Crew Sebby here, coming at you with a Doflamingo OP2 deck profile. I say, bro, this is the deck to play, man. This is the deck to play. I'm loving this deck. I've been loving this deck since set one. I still think this leader is very underrated. And you know, with the OP1 season coming to an end, I think it's the perfect time to start getting into OP2, learning what the cards do, learning the meta, and trying to beat the meta. So with that said, let's just get into the deck profile. We are playing 4 Alvida here. What can I say? I mean, it's 2K combo. We could play, and I will throw this in here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. In the new set, there is an Impel Dawn card that we can play. So we could replace Alvida with Mr. 2 Bankley here. The reason why I'm not playing this card and playing Alvida, even though you see we're playing a Bankov, I just think about Alvida's effect is a little more relevant. I really don't like this card's effect, and it's a 5 cost. This Alvida is a 2 cost. You can attach a Dawn, trash 1, bounce a 3 or less. I think that's just a little more relevant than the Bankley here. The Bankley may find its way into this list with Alvida, but for now, this is what we have. Next, we're going into some Engine. This is standard for Doflamingo. You look at the top 5, he's got blocker. What else can I say? I mean, it's an insane card. It's honestly an insane card. Next, we're playing for Kuma. This is also pretty standard from OP1. I mean, it's still good now. It was good then. It's still good now, I believe. It just punishes your opponent for attacking the cards that we play off the leader rested. So yeah, that's why we're playing for. Next, we're going into Perona here. What can I say? Again, standard. This is Engine. This is what gets us to our Warlords. It lets us stack. It's a good card. Now we're going into some of the set 2 stuff here. So this is Emporio Ivankov, or Empero Ivankov. I don't watch One Piece. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've never watched One Piece. I saw a couple clips with these guys. The homies are trying to get me into it. The whole SKC crew is trying to get me into it for the most part. I'll get to it. I'll get to it, guys. But this is the new Ivankov. On play, you draw up until you have 3 cards. You don't draw up to 3. You draw until you have 3. It would have been crazy if it was just a draw 3, but draw up to 3 is still pretty good. Then you can also play 1 Impel Dawn card, 1 blue Impel Dawn type character. Let me just clarify, with a 6 cost or less from your hand. We're only playing 1 target for this effect. This is just kind of like the secure the game card. You know, we're playing at 3 because we want to see it. I may play more targets in the future. I already have a other list similar to this, where we're playing the we're playing 2 of the crocodile here. This is the new croc. I don't know. I'm still not sold on this card. I like it. I don't like it. We're gonna see. Then we're going in. Oh, before we go into the other card. The reason why we're playing this over like the 7-drop Dofi, over the Mihawk. Mihawk's just too much Dawn. I just don't ever think you're going to be able to commit to a Mihawk without it being a win more card in that scenario. The 7-drop Dofi, I do like the 7-drop Dofi, but my problem with the 7-drop Dofi is that he bounces the card. He's just delaying the inevitable. A lot of those bounce cards are just delay the inevitables. That's why you're not seeing Teach in here. Teach, I do like Teach, and I might play Teach, but I don't like Teach as well because he's 4K power, so I have to commit a Dawn to swing with him. He's very easy for my opponent to swing over because he is 4K. So I feel like he's just a waste of the leader sometimes. I mean, he can bounce your Nico Robbins. He can bounce your you know, he could bounce like Brooks. He could bounce a bunch of stuff. Cat Vipers, you know. I mean, not like you want to bounce those cards, but I'm just saying, in those scenarios, he bounces the blockers. He bounces any problem, 3 drops or less. But my problem is, again, delay the inevitable, delay the inevitable. I don't like those cards. Now we're going to go into more of the 7 Warlords. This is Gecko Moria. This is from the new set. He's just a 6k. I mean, he's a free 6k off the top. Well, not free. 3 mana, 6k off the top. Pretty good. Your opponent has to actually commit to attacking over this, which I like. I'm just not going to play more than 3. I might play more than 3, but when I was testing him at 4, him not having an effect is pretty relevant because he's just Pacifista that we can play off the deck. So him not having an effect is just like such a feels bad man when you have him in your hand. Now we're going to go into some of the engine from set 2. This is just like Perona, just like Doflamingo. We can stack our deck, but we cannot do 5. He is not as good as Perona. He is a 3. Look at the top 3 versus look at the top 5. Looking at the top 3 is good too. That's why we're still playing him. But he does not have combo. But his other effect is pretty relevant. You can attach a Dawn when attacking. You can bottom deck a 1-cost character by trashing the card out of your hand. I mean, that's crazy. 1k, the 1-drop blockers gone. The Nico Robin's gone. The Bonnie's gone. The Wano Country Kid gone. All that stuff gone. He answers a lot of those cards, and he's honestly in here because of how good he is against Law and how good he is against Red, while also being engine. Then we're going to go into the Luffy. He's an Impel Dawn. He's the 6 or less, so he meets the requirement here. On play or when attacking, you could trash 2 cards from your hand, return up to 1 character with 4 cost or less to the owner's hand, delay the inevitable card, but he also gains double attack. This card's busted. The fact that it gets double attack, it's 7k for 6, but he's not even 7k for 6. If we play the Ivankov correctly by stacking our leader and stuff, we can draw into our Luffy's, and then this becomes 7 mana for 14k power and a bounce. I mean, the stats that these cards can bring, the amount of pressure that these cards bring, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, even if our opponent was to tap for a Mihawk and bottom deck our Luffy, we still have a 7k on board, and they just tap 9. Even if they play their 7-drop Doflamingo to bounce one of these, who cares? They could tap these down. Who cares? Your opponent has to commit so much to getting over these. It's just crazy, and it's kind of the win condition. These cards also help us swing over like an 8-drop Kid. We struggled against 8-drop Kid in set 1. We had to play a couple cards that were, in my opinion, just not that good. And I feel like these cards kind of replaced those answers that we had before. Next, we're going into Jinbei. This is the promo Jinbei. He's the new one that just came from the Treasure Cup event packs. If you're watching this video in February when it drops, we're gonna use this card to counter the meta, theoretically. Red and green are gonna run rampant. We've seen in the OCG over in Japan what those cards are doing, what the meta looks like over there. This card just answers their meta. Just being able to bottom deck a 3 or less when it's attacked. If they're not attacking it, it just becomes a permanent on our side of the board that's going to swing. That's what we want to see off our leader. We don't want to play Boas because Boa is going to get swung over. Our opponent can easily attach a Dawn swing, can easily attach 2 Dawn swing, and he's punished 0. He's not punished at all. When you're swinging over this, you're punishing your opponent because now it's trading, right? He commits to swing into this, and then we bottom deck something on his field. Nuts. It's just nuts. It can bottom deck Zoros. It bottom decks Nico Robins. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I'm playing this card as well. Also, Otama into a Nico Robin swing is just not. It's just never going to happen when you're playing this card off the top. I think this card's very underrated. I saw a lot of people saying this card was underwhelming. I think this card is very strong, and you just gotta wait and test it for yourself. Now, back into some more standard, not so standard. People play this card at 4. This is the Recycler Gecko Moria. It's a Recycler. I really don't want to play this card at 4. I'd rather play this at 3. I don't want to draw it. I really don't want to draw it. I'll see it. If it's at 3, I will see it off the top. I don't need to see multiples off the top. In the same top 5 cards, I'm not trying to see 2 Gecko Morias. I'm honestly, in the top 5 cards, I'm not trying to see too many 7 Warlords. I want to see at least 2 7 Warlords in the top 5. I don't want to see 3 or 4. You know what I mean? So, we're cutting this card to 3. Also, seeing this in the super early game is just not as good as seeing any of the other ones. So, that's why we're playing it at 3. Now we're playing another 2K combo. This is Mihawk. We can also play him off our leader, which is relevant. Helps us dig for our Ivankov, for our Luffy. Helps us keep our hand size low, so we get our value off our Ivankov. We're never really playing it, but it does come up. Then, right in the next card, this is the not-so-standard staple. It's a standard card in blue, and it's a staple in blue. I'm just running it at a not-so-standard ratio, I guess. I see a lot of people play this at 4. I didn't really agree with playing it at 4 in OP1, but I could see why you would. But in OP2, there is no reason to play this card at 4. There's so much removal that the meta decks have for 3 or less cards, to where this card is never sticking. And honestly, it makes, if this card wasn't a top 5, this card would also probably see itself go to 3, just because it gets hit by every removal in the game. The new red card, Vista, can pop it. Your Cat Vipers tap it. It's a necessary evil. It is very good in the early game and more later game scenarios, but in like the mid game, he's just awful. He's getting hit by every removal in the game. He's never sticking. And usually your opponent isn't making a out of character play. Like they're not making a play that's bad to get rid of this. They're just playing how they would actually play, right? So like they're playing their Cat Viper. Like if they're playing Law, they're gonna play their Cat Viper or their Vista just to fill up their board anyway. So this card is just gonna get hit. This is just collateral, If it hits something, great. If it doesn't, they don't really care. Next, we're going into Pacifista. We're playing Kuma. We're playing Pacifista. If you're playing Kuma and you're not playing Pacifista, dude, helmet's just a little too tight. This is this is the kind of like a brick. We want to see it, but we don't want to see multiples. That's why we're not playing 4. It's a good card. It makes our Kuma go crazy, so that's why we're playing it. Next, we're going into another OP2 card. This is Gum Gum Rain. This card is broke. This card is broke. Broke. The only reason this card gets its value, is because we can turn our no combo cards into combo. So its effect is you may trash 1 card from your hand. Your leader, or up to one of your characters, gains 3k power during this battle. So theoretically, this is Desert Spada with a 1k, except he turns our non-1ks into 1k. It also helps facilitate our Ivankov by pitching cards. We're playing a lot of cards that don't have combo. This card, this card, this card, this card. So being able to turn those into combo is pretty good, and 3k combo is decent enough to get over most things. Cards in a combo. This card's insane. I don't like it at 4, but I think 3 is the sweet spot for this card. Next on our list, we're playing 3 Love Beam. There's honestly not much to say about this card. It's just a necessary card. You need to play some form of 4k counter in these kind of decks. We're not trying to pitch our entire hand to protect everything. and the fact that this can draw us a card if we have 3 or less. It just comes up. Our leader can stack. We could stack Love Beams. We could draw multiple. It's just overall an insane card in this deck. So that's why we're playing it. And just like that, we're at the end of the video. Guys, if you're enjoying the videos, please do not be afraid to hit that like button and share with a friend. If you have any questions or suggestions, we would love to read them in the comments below. What deck are you thinking about playing in OP2? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.